What's going on, guys? I am Toxic Jordan. Welcome back to the channel. So today we are doing something very different. I don't know if you guys have immediately noticed, but we are on a different account. If you take a peek up here, we are using the account of my boy Kaido. So this global account that you're looking at here belongs to one of the beloved members of my little Toxic Tribe community. He is actually the one that built the entire Discord for me. When my channel started first getting some, attention on YouTube during the 8th anniversary, right at the start of the 8th anniversary, Kaido reached out to me on Discord and offered to build a Discord for me so that I would have a better place to interact with my community other than just the YouTube comments. And I took him up on that offer, and he went and built the whole thing for me. So if you aren't yet familiar with what my Discord looks like, then there's a link in the description. Please go and check it out. Come and say hi. There's lots of fun stuff for us to do in there. Okay, so the situation is that Kaido has not been playing Dokkan for the last few months, simply because he just upgraded from an iPhone onto an Android. And then, obviously, as some of you may know, when you switch between OS, operating systems, you lose all of your Dragon Stones. I think it's a way for, the Apple franchise and for the Android-like franchises not to, have to compete with buyers. Otherwise, it would be possible for you to load your account on an iOS device, purchase all of your Dragon Stones through the App Store, and give Apple all the credit for that, and then transfer your account onto an Android device and use all of your stones through an Android-based game that comes from the Google Play Store, right? So they don't want to allow you to do that. It's basically a way of Apple and Android being stingy to each other, which makes sense. From a business standpoint. So because of that, when you transfer your data, you lose all your Dragon Stones. Well, Kaido did not want to just lose all his Dragon Stones, but also a couple months ago when he got his new phone, I imagine there just wasn't anything he wanted to summon on. So it was a matter of I guess don't play Dokkan and just continue to save the stones. So he reached out to me and said, hey, the anniversary's coming up. Why don't we do this? I'll give you the account. You can log in daily coming up to the anniversary, and then once the anniversary is about to start, the summons will go live. You'll have a bunch of stones on my account here. You can make a video summoning on the anniversary banners, on my account, trying to pull the new anniversary headliners for me. And then after that is finished, then I will transfer the account back to him, and he can pick it up with 0 stones on it, and then start playing again on his Android device. So that is kind of the plan here. Now, when he gave me the account, and by the way, disclaimer, this is my second iPhone, so I have not put a pause on my main account. There's nothing in the history of the world that's going to cause me to do that, unless I am, incarcerated or, hospitalized and completely unconscious. That's the only things that's ever going to stop me from continuing to grind on my main account, right? So this is actually a second iPhone, which is the reason why he asked me to do this in the first place, because he knew I could grind both my accounts at the same time. So I am currently link leveling on my other phone right here. So yeah, when he first gave me the account, I loaded it up here on my backup iPhone and just jumped in and took a look. So he did play during the during the worldwide download celebration. I believe that was the last place that he was really hardcore playing. So if we take a look here at what units he's pulled and not, you can see it's decently empty. I mean, he's pretty much mostly free to play. I think especially in recent times, he probably only spends on the anniversaries and stuff like that, major celebrations. So there's lots of stuff that he's missing over time. I mean, if I were to scroll harder, you can see there's a lot of dark green gaps in here. He doesn't have everything, missing a lot of stuff, even going back to really, really old stuff. It's mostly because of Heroes units, World Tournament units, things like that, but it's also because of free-to-play units. Kaido, naughty boy, shame on you, has not done nearly as much grinding in this game as he should have. Just over time, considering that this account, he informed me, though it has, about 2,500 login days currently, apparently should have more than 3,000, because he did start this account right when Dokkan Battle was a brand new game. Okay, so I guess just to give you guys an update, and then this video is kind of for Kaido too, because I've given him a couple of in our Discord chats, a couple of updates on the things I've been working on and stuff, but I kind of want to just do a brief look through of the account, show you guys where the account is at, talk about a couple of the things that I've been working on. When the first thing that I will mention is that the stone count is way higher than it was. It was at about, I think it was 647 stones when he gave me the account, and now we're up to almost 1,600. So I've been grinding quite a bit. A lot of stuff I've been doing. So we'll take a look at the profile. Obviously, we can see he's ranked 778. Let's see, just over 1 million power level. He already was. I'm not I'm not raising his power level by much because I'm not sitting here link leveling. There's a lot of other content that I'm trying to get through. Lots of Super Battle Road stages, infinite Dragon Ball histories, things like that that are just going to give out a lot of stones for reward. But yeah, so not looking too bad here. Okay, so the first thing that I went ahead and jumped into was all the panel missions. Obviously, we had like the January, campaign panel missions. I went and finished those easy, and then I'm almost completely finished. As you can see, we just have a couple of the expert missions left here, but we went and farmed up like the whole free-to-play Saiyan Saga team, went through all of the panel missions for all of that stuff, so we got lots of good rewards there. Obviously, we have finished the returning player campaign. As he hadn't logged in a couple of months, this is the perfect time to jump in and log in again, right? And then, okay, let's see. So, as far as events that I completed, he's gone through the game for most of his story events and at least played them on every stage to earn the Dragon Stones for clearing, but you'll see here that there's a lot of missions that need to be done because he hasn't actually farmed up the characters. So if there was a couple of free-to-play characters that were really, really good that I went and farmed up for him, but for the most part, I haven't really touched too many story events. I've mainly been doing story events just to grind SA. If there's any characters that I need to awaken and stuff that are just sitting in his box that have been untouched, then I'd go and grind all the Dokkan event medals, grind the SA for the characters and stuff, and then awaken them. And we'll get more into that when we jump into the box. Growth events, I have been attempting to do some of his dailies. I'm not really doing the orb events and stuff because he has tons and tons of orbs sitting. So it's not really a good use of my time. If you keep count of you have to factor in that I am on a time limit here, right? Because once the anniversary starts and the banners go live, I'm going to make the video and summon with whatever stones I have, and I highly doubt I'll be able to grind the entire game by then. Mainly because of this tab right here. I'm going to go ahead and slowly scroll through the challenge tab, and you can just see how many undone missions there are for all of these challenge content. Most of the red zones and like major challenge content that comes out during the major celebrations is completely untouched, or mostly untouched, or just still has like a lot of missions left to do, right? And then there's like the entire support memory boost thing here. There's like a lot. Look, there's basically no challenge content stage that's completely finished. They're all done. And then the Hercules punching machine had a bunch of missions left, but I went and finished it. So I did that one. Boss Rush was the only one that was like fully done, which makes sense because it does give you the best rewards of everything. And then I believe like all the prime battles and all the actually, no, not all the prime battles have been played, but all the Dokkan events have been played. So I might have to go through and play the prime battles for some extra stones. But I have been focusing on some of the Legendary Goku event stuff. I did most of these. The only ones left in there is the Team Bardock and Ginyu Force missions, which he doesn't have the free-to-play teams even Easy Aid. They're rainbowed, but not Easy Aid yet. So unless I go and do those Easy Aid areas, then I won't even have strong enough teams to beat these stages here. So I just didn't worry about them for now, because obviously we have a bunch more on the Legendary Vegeta event, the GT Legendary Goku event, and then all of this challenge content. Over the last day, I was mainly working on the Infinite Dragon Ball histories. Oops, didn't mean to do that. But yeah, we are almost done with the Infinite Dragon Ball histories now. There's just a couple more stages we have to rerun. But they're ones that he has already run, and he just missed out on some of like the category missions and stuff. So now I'm just updating his team to add a better team and then re-autoing the stage. So I'm getting through those decently quick as well. Okay, and then as far as what's in the Portal of Memories, here's where we can see the millions and millions of story events that he has definitely not farmed up the characters for, because there's so many missions available on all of these, and there are a few of these I think he hasn't even played at all, so I might get around to doing these, but again, doing like, you know, I mean, I guess it's kind of a comparable amount of stones to like what you get for a Super Battle Road stage or something. You would actually get more stones for this, but it would take maybe a little bit longer to get through all the stages than just depending how many levels there are to each of these events. So we'll see. I might do that. But yeah, I have gotten permission from Kaido to spend as many keys as I want and stuff like that. I am, you know, spending tons of Zenny. When I gave him my first update about what I had done with the game, I told him that I spent 2 billion Zenny, because I did, just awakening units and easying units and stuff. So that was kind of funny. And then if we come here and we take a look at the challenge tab, obviously all of the major events are live right now because of the countdown celebration. The thing that's not live is all of the Easy 8 areas. You can see all of these Easy 8 areas are basically just untouched. Most of them are completely not done at all. One that I made sure to go and do was this one. The type characters, because he has 5 of the 50% supports. Annoyingly enough, actually, wait, that's scary and creepy. How is that possible? The 5 that he has are the 5 you see depicted right here. Wait, Kaido, that's so sick. No way. You literally have these 5, and you don't have the other 5. The reason that that's annoying, if you'll notice here, physical, tech, int, STR, AGL. That means in order to get these 5 Easy 8 and finished in his box, I had to run all 5 stages, because obviously each stage gives you the medals for both the super and extreme type of that class, but he only has one of each class. He doesn't have, you know, the opposing one, so I had to literally run all 5 stages, but that means, Kaido, if you ever pull the other ones, their Easy 8 medals are ready to go for you. But yeah, so I finished those just to make sure, for like Ultimate Clash mainly, to be able to use them as leaders and stuff. But I probably will end up taking them into like Red Zone stages and things like that too. But yeah, so lots more Easy 8 area stages to go. He does have a couple of these Grand Kai keys. Not something I'll be using for him though. He's only got a couple of units at Link level 9. And then these don't have the missions done because you only get the missions once you actually Easy 8 the characters, but these are all at level 30 as well. And then if we go back in here to events, we were on challenge. We'll go ahead and move over to Z Battle. So for the past couple of months that he had not been playing, there were a couple of Z Battles that built up on him, and especially super Easy A's that had not been done. So there was like about 10 Easy A's here up toward the top. I believe like the Videl Easy A was the oldest one, and like this one hadn't been done yet. So these couple down here hadn't been done, and then most of these ones up top hadn't been touched. So I went and farmed out all the stones for those, awakened all the characters if he had them in his box and stuff. And then, as you guys saw a quick flash of when I came over to this, we were working on the All-Star Easy A, so I'm about 500 stages into that. After I finish recording this video, I'm actually about to run off to work. So once I leave my house, I'll just connect this second phone to my hotspot on my normal phone, and then I'll run the Dokkan All-Stars Easy A basically all day while I'm out. And then once I come back home and I can actually focus on the game, then we'll just be passively link leveling like we are on the other phone, and then we'll come and do something, you know, more major here. So yeah, that's basically where I'm at with like the event completion and like what I've done. There is a lot of stuff that I've done, but more importantly than any of that, I kind of want to talk about like the box, because this is where I spent like an entire day. So he messaged me one night. We were attempting to get the accounts transferred. We were having a little bit of technical difficulties with it. But then once we finally got it figured out, it was like 5 in the morning for me. I was messaging him at like 2 a.m. because that was when I got off work to be able to actually get the account from him. And then we were working on troubleshooting it for the next couple of hours until we finally got the account uploaded on my phone, which obviously the reason why we were waiting so much is because it was like trial and error of doing the data downloads, downloading the entire game, having to delete it once or twice, figuring out things, right? I'm not the most tech savvy, so I'm sure it was a lot of user error, but yeah, we finally got it figured out, and then it was 5 in the morning. I went and looked in his account, realized how incomplete the account was, and then told him, oh buddy, I am going to go in on this account. I am going to help you. I'm going to fix this for you. You know, and so I figure the big thank you that I can give him for once upon a time creating my Discord for me is that I'm going to help create his Dokkan account. So I went and made some tags for him. He had a bunch of tags already, but I went and created this team building tag. This basically separates all of the units that are basically done and ready to go and able to be put on teams from the units that still need to be worked on. Obviously, there are a few units in here that aren't fully finished. Like, for example, this guy. He's only at SA1 because you don't really need to SA15 him. He is mainly only in the team building tag so that he can be utilized as a leader for nuking events, which is how I beat the punching machine, was with this guy. So yeah, I've still put him in team building because he has a use here, right? Which is true of, there are a few units in here that still maybe need to be SA grinded, or that just need to be filled out with their super attack 15 from being Easy Aid and things like that. But yeah, so I put together this tag for him just to help build teams, so that it's not on top of like all of this incomplete garbage. There's so much in here that still needs to be worked on. I didn't want it to get confused with all of that. So aside from team building, we also made a leaders tag, and then this is every unit in the game that has 170% leader skill or higher. My current leaders box on my account is only 200% leaders, but after doing this to his account and realizing how many extra leaders there are, because like there's, you know, LRs that get easy A's and then they have like 180% leader skill and things like that. Like for example, this guy, he's a perfectly good leader. Time limit connected hope at 180%. That is a viable leader skill, especially with the power of this character, right? Having two of them on your team. You could definitely get away with running a team like that, but he's not on my leader skill box because he's not 200%. So I think I may go edit that and tune it all the way down to like at least 170 leads that have been easy aid. Or that are brand new. Because like something I did for him is I put anything that was a 170 lead. There's a few leads in here that are not full 170. I think they're 170 to something and then 130 to something else. Is this guy one of them? Yeah, so like this, for example. He's got HP only 130 and then 170 to the other two categories. This is the kind of unit that I won't be including in my leader skill box, just because it has 130 as part of the leader skill. I'm only taking full 170s at most, so units like this, where it's legit just full 170. So that's obviously going to be newer 170 lead Dokkan Fests, before the 200% meta, and then ones that are old enough that have already easy aid, where they buffed the 130 part up to 170. So yeah, I'll end up editing that. So we got that for him. And then the link level box, he had this put together for himself already, so I just kind of left it as is, and then anytime I build a new unit, I just add it into here for him, into the link level box. He's got his link level 9s, again, there's only a couple of units in there. And then this right here, Kaido, if you take nothing away from this entire video, take this. I made a workshop for you, bud. So almost every single unit in here, almost every single unit. In fact, in order for me to fact check that, let me go to character list so I can see the number. Yeah, there's 360 units. So basically every single unit in here, I awakened for you. Almost every single unit in here. There are some, like these Ginyu Force cards were already worked on and stuff, right? Like obviously I didn't do those at all. But yeah, most of the units that are in here, I did. They were just sitting in his box. When I very first, logged into the thing, he had just over 2,000 box space, and he had just over 2,000 characters in the box. And I went through, and I took, let's say, like, for, I don't know who even would have been sitting. Like, this unit was sitting, right? There was, like, 9 copies of this unit just sitting. So I fed them all into itself and fully, like, maxed out the card and stuff. So for this one, I actually did grind up, like, the Dokkan event and make it a usable card for myself. But there's a lot of examples of, like, I gotta find one. Like this unit. There was like 15 copies of him sitting in the box. So I just went and made a TUR copy for him, made an SSR copy because this is a free-to-play farmable card, and then fed in a couple of free-to-play like farmable copies into him. Basically just cleaning up the box. So now what was once like 17 units sitting is now only 2 copies sitting, waiting to be worked on and stuff. So if that makes sense. That is basically what I did here with this whole box, but it cleared up over 1,000 box space at this point. And now, Kaido, you have a very, very clear way to see what stuff needs to be worked on. Just come over here to your workshop, scroll through, see what units you want to work on, and then you can go from there. And then that way, every time we pull a new unit, we can throw it right on the workshop, right? Until it's worked on, and then you can take it off workshop eventually, and then throw it onto team building once it's finished. So yeah, that's kind of the idea behind the box, but now the whole box is fully cleaned out. Almost fully cleaned out. There's still a small stack of like SRs that we pulled or something that need to or not that I pulled, but that he has previously pulled, that need to be like saved because they can be used for super attack fodder and stuff. But I'm just after all the work I've done on the box, it's good enough that I'm gonna leave it for now so that I can prioritize doing content and actually gaining dragon stones, which is the whole point of me having the account right now. But yeah, so there's still a little bit more cleanliness that could happen, but we've got plenty of box space to do the Annie summons. We've got plenty of stuff ready to go here. So yeah, I'm not worried about fully cleaning it out. And then obviously I'm not going to clean it anymore because once I finish the Annie summons, I'm just going to make sure that he is below the box space limit so he can actually play stages, and then I'm going to give him the account back. And the rest will be up to Kaido to, take over. Because obviously, especially after the anniversary starts, 2 things are going to happen. 1, Kaido's desire to play the game is going to go up insanely, especially after he sees the summon video where he sees all the new units I just got for him. So he's going to want the account back to be able to play during the anniversary. And then 2, content is going to explode, and I'm going to have a million more videos that I want to make and a million more things I want to grind on my own account. So I probably just won't have the free time to be grinding 2 Dokkan accounts at once. So yeah. I will be holding on to this account here. I do plan to make at least one more video with this account before we get into, like, you know, me doing the summons and giving the account back, because the Ultimate Clash just went live for the countdown celebration here, and I figure because it's the exact same content on both versions, I've already done recordings for the new Red Zone stages on my primary account, because I wanted to use, like, my busted teams and my link level teams, like, as a serious challenge event. I wanted to go in with my stuff, right? But with the Ultimate Clash here, especially because the anniversary Ultimate Clashes are usually much easier to clear, just to make them more accessible for, like, returning players and not long-time players and things like that. I figured that the Ultimate Clash would be easy enough that I could beat it with his account, not having every single one of the strongest units in the game available, right? So I have already actually gone through and built my Ultimate Clash teams to get it ready for this. So yeah, when I do the video on this, I am going to use Kaido's account just to give us the extra challenge. And then that will also give him the extra resources from having the Ultimate Clash cleared. And then that way I can just worry about clearing the Ultimate Clash on my own time. I won't have to record a video around it, and I can do it quickly. I might even just do it tonight while I'm at work on my main account, so I know what's going on with it before we jump in for the video. But yeah, so I plan to do that. Maybe I'll do another video or 2 if I come up with anything else that's relevant, or like if they drop an easy A in the part, you know, in the like countdown celebration. Maybe I'll do an easy A video on his account here. But yeah, we'll see. So other than that, you know, expect to see this account show up again at the beginning of the anniversary. So we'll be doing the primary, like, bulk of our anniversary summons on this account. As I currently have like 300 stones on my main account, just because I link level so much. I haven't been spending them, but I did once upon a time, after like the previous celebration, have like 500 stones. And, you know, with the limited amount of free-to-play stones they give us in-game, they have been actually just dwindling and not going up at all, despite my stone subscription, despite daily logins and missions and things like that, and then whatever new content is coming out. I am spending stones quicker than I'm getting them. So depending on what the hype looks like around the summon times, maybe I'll end up spending a little bit. There's probably going to be some amazing discounts that drop. So yeah, I will do some summons on my main account. Hopefully we'll be able to pull some of the headliners. I don't anticipate I'm going to be able to clear everything, but I do want to try and do that with Kaido's account, so we'll see. If he gets super lucky, maybe we'll even pull a singular copy of all the main headliners on part 1, and then he'll have enough stones left over that I can give him the account, and then he can do some more summons on part 2. So, yeah, that's what we have to look forward to. I just wanted to update you guys that I was hanging on to this account, and look forward to seeing it again over the next couple of weeks. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you guys next time. Oh, really quick before we actually go, I did want to mention, I would be willing to do this for other people's accounts in the future. So if you have an account that is massively undergrinded and you don't feel like you have the skill level or the time or the patience to get through your account, maybe we can talk about you gifting me your account for a little while so I can make content out of it, and then I can help you grind. It could be a mutually positive experience for both of us, especially, I think the one condition I would put on it is that you have to allow me to summon, right? It's got to be during a time where I'm going to be able to want to make a summon video and then drain your stones and whatever for, you know, a major celebration. So, yeah, that is definitely something you could reach out to me on my Discord. You could reach out to me on Twitter, any of the places that I've put in the description below for you to contact me. Go ahead and do so, and we'll talk about the future for you to be able to do this with your account as well in the future. Okay, enough rambling about it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.